Global Reach. This is tuning in to Out of Bounds with T-Rex and the Newts. We got at the top, we're gonna start with Deference. We got Big Lionel, called him Duck. We got Jimmy Dukes. We can't call his name, but we just call him Mr. Duke. And then we got Big Bank, and we'll call him Henry. Hi guys,
Yes,
how
sir.
y'all doing today?
Good, good,
Oh,
good.
All's
man,
well,
these are
all's
my Theta
well.
Beta brothers, y'all. Check them out. So today, y'all got anything y'all want to say before we get started? Hello to
Well,
anybody or
since you said this is all Kappas, man, I've got 42 years in the bond, man, and if it's really bad that if any one of y'all said y'all need some ice, I got to be the one to go get it.
hey, that's just how it is, man. That's just how it is.
Yes, sir.
That's well, we all have to answer the duck. Me, then it's me, then it's you. So it's always somebody ahead of somebody. All right, everybody. Today we about men's health, and it's a lot to talk about. So pass it to y'all. Let y'all just come up with a topic. If not, I got notes. We can talk about the most important one. I think if y'all want to talk about that first, we can talk about the doctor. How especially black men and men in general refuse to go to the doctor. Uh, would y'all agree or make a comment on that? Go ahead.
Well, one thing I was thinking about when you get to the doctor, you have to still, everything for me on health is about economics. Some people think it's
Mm-hmm.
about fear, but I think it's about the
Mm-hmm.
economics and how men perceive themselves. People with money have no problem going to the doctor. People with no money have less doctor visits because they have fear that they're going to get stuck with a bill. It's going to be extremely high. But once you go to the doctor and know your history, I think a lot of times we do know our history.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well, I agree
I
with you,
think
Duck.
that's
Go ahead.
I think that's an archaic notion
Go ahead,
now
Jimmy.
about men being afraid to go to the doctor. I think these days that men are more apt to go to the doctor because they see what's happening to their older parents, older friends. They see what happens. So what's happening
Mm-hmm.
to the younger friends and brothers and sisters when you're not taking care of yourself. So it's a little bit easier for a male to decide, okay, I want to go to the doctor. We're not afraid of shots anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're not afraid of taking a pill. So therefore, that fear of going to the doctor, I think that's an archaic notion. I'm not sure if that still lingers with black males anymore.
Oh, okay.
Well, well, I'm gonna give you the archaic point of view from my point of view because I don't go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? And that's bad for me to say. For me to go to the doctor, if I tell my son or my wife I'm going to the doctor, they gonna say, "Man, you got to be really sick," because really and truly, I just don't go to the doctor. My blood pressure on an average, it ranges when I'm at home, it's like 120 to 118 over 80, 78, 79. Soon as I go into the doctor's office, my blood pressure automatically shoots up to like 170, 175 over 100. And I was in the office like 3 weeks ago. The doctor said, she came in and it was a new lady. She said, "Mr. Pilcher, do you feel okay?" I said, "Yeah, I feel fine." And she said, "I'll be right back." And she said, "We got a possible stroke victim in room 2." And I looked at the door and it was in room 2. I said, "Am I having an out body experience?" That's what I don't go there. I try my best to do organics. I do all of the natural stuff. I do a lot of bad stuff too, but I'm not one to
Mm-hmm.
go to the doctor, and I got to get better. My colonoscopy is overdue. I'm trying to make my appointment for that, but man, I'm the one that don't go to the doctor unless I have to. So I guess, Jimmy, I am archaic.
I think I fall in that duck group. I even though I got I'm on Medicare because I'm retired. I have TRICARE because I'm retired from military, and I still worry about getting the bill. So no, I don't. I mean, I go to my regular doctor and I go to the VA. I have 2 doctors that I go to. But I'll just tell you recently, well, you guys already know, but I'll tell the people listening. I didn't really pass out, but I just got dizzy and it fell, hit my head. You can see the scar. And I was like, I told my son to just grab a towel, put it on my head and drive me to the hospital, trying to alleviate, the ambulance costs. But it is what it is, man. I think that's the biggest problem with men when we think about the doctor, is the cost. But everybody else hit it on right. Jimmy, you was right too. I don't think anybody worries about cost anymore, except for maybe people, and some of the people like me and Duck in our age. Not saying that Duck does, but in our age group. But I think that's what happens. And when you go to the doctor, I recommend getting your blood pressure checked. Henry hit on that. You always got to get yourself checked up. You got to go if you're over 55. People don't realize they have to go get especially men have to get a colon check, and so you got to get Roto-Rooter both ways, down your throat and up the back door, to make sure you're healthy. And like I said recently, man, I just found out that I may need a pacemaker. So it's kind of hard to worry about, things. But I was talking to a neighbor, just to give y'all some tidbit, and y'all let you. He was saying that I think he said his reason was that, as a man, we feel that we're invulnerable. And that's why we don't go to the doctor. What do y'all think about that invulnerability? Do y'all think that's part of the reason why some men, not everybody, but just some men don't go to the doctor?
Well, let me just address that point when you said about your health care. When I have always been told that if military people, retired military, TRICARE is about the best insurances out there. So I don't know why you would fear getting a bill having TRICARE. Yeah, and what was the other question?
I can tell you why. Oh, go ahead.
What was the other question?
Wait, I'm sorry, Jim. Let me cut you off.
The question that you
the other question was the question basically was, do y'all think it's about our pride, that we think that we're invulnerable? That's why we don't go to that.
Well, a lot of it has to do with pride. I mean, being a man, being that warrior, what a male believes that he is, it has to do with a lot of pride. But it also has to do with fear. And the fear is the part that we don't show. When we was raised that a man doesn't cry. So those are things during our days that we were taught in the way that we were raised. So yes, I think a lot of it does have to do with pride.
I agree with Jimmy, man. I agree with Jimmy. I think it does have a lot of pride. I'm a man. I can beat this. I know when I was a child, if I had a headache, my dad would always say, "Boy, go lay down. You'll be all right. Just calm down, drinking some water, and you'll be okay." But and I tried to instill, even though I'm the way that I am, which I don't go to the doctor like I should. I do my annual checkups and so forth. But it's like pulling teeth for me to get me to do that. And I thank God that my children are not like that, because, man, they will go at the drop of a dime, or my wife will too. So that's good. But it's just a stereotype, I think, of the black man being that guy, and you just really don't want to hear no bad news. And but that's the craziest avenue to take, because if you go to the doctor, and if there are issues, you can catch it in time to correct whatever problems that you're experiencing.
Now, one thing I was thinking, Henry, you say your numbers, and I'm not sure. I have no idea what my numbers are. All I know is how old I am. I know that I run basketball up and down the basketball court, and when my feet hurt, I don't think that something's wrong with it. I just go soak. When my back hurt, I just put heat on. So some things are some things when I have ailments, that's different. But when I think that I can get some money from a car accident, I run to the doctor. If somebody hit me in the car, I'm running to the doctor because I want to carry out as long as I can to get as free help as I can so I can get that money.
I understand that. I understand that.
But,
I'm not going to comment on the car accident.
Right. So health to me, I'm going to tell you, I'm really thinking hereditary is the only number that I know. My granddaddy lived to be 100 years old.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking I got good genes. But my father only lived to be 74. He had a bad heart. So I'm thinking I have to make it past 74 before I think I'm going to make it to 100.
Well, let me give you. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Doug.
Yeah. So if I don't make it, I'm going to be afraid that I'm just going to roll on out of here. So now I think about my health every day.
Okay.
Let me give you a couple statistics, and that is that 44% of all Black men are considered overweight, and 37.5% are considered obese. And I fall probably in both of those categories.
Mhm.
But one of the blessings for me is that I'm 60. I don't even know how old I am. 66 years old, I think. And I am blessed that I don't take any pills.
Mhm.
You know, I take Lumagan in one of my eyes at night for cataract. No, glaucoma. Sorry. And that's it. So I'm blessed where I'm not on any medicine at this time. Now I may go to the doctor, we'll do my annual checkup in July, and he may put me on 5 or 6 different ones. But I'm blessed where I don't have to take any now. But I would fall into that 44% and that 37.5%, and just throw in a bad knee with that too.
Well, Jimmy, the producer says you look 54, so I know she ain't got her glasses on, but we'll leave that alone. Well, you hit something on the head when you was talking about weight. Just to talk about tidbit, we all of us guys on Bible study on Thursday, same Trinity, same chapter, same college. If you don't know what a chapter means, but Jimmy said that he put everybody on that. She said that ain't right, Terry. That everybody. He was going to lose some weight. And I don't know if that was a direct challenge, indirect challenge to everybody, but losing weight is one good thing to help get your health right. So I commend you for that one, Jimmy. But I think the problem with most of the statistics that they have out there, just because, I thought I'm pretty healthy, I thought until lately, but I think that we're bigger than the Caucasian race. On an average, the average Black man is bigger than the average white man. And they make the statistics based, not the statistics itself, but the guidelines based off of that. You have to, I forgot because I was a personal trainer, but I forgot, but it's 3 body types. And the Black people, the men always fall under the larger group. That doesn't mean that we're over heavy. It just means we have more muscle mass. And I think that's something that people need to look at. But on the same flip on that, you also need to make sure that your waistline. That is if they say the general, if you have over a 40-inch waistline, you are considered obese. So if you have a 41, 42, you're getting there, but you got to get down. And I think that's the biggest thing there, that you got to get it down.
It's not
but
just
I think
that. It's
just to get the.
But Terry, wait a minute, because
Go ahead.
annually I used to take these exams, physical, pre-physicals through blood type, and it's just called the BMI index. So it's a combination of not just your waist, but it's going to be your blood pressure, your age, and so much is what's in the blood count, your blood count, that they determine whether or not at your age you need to be at this number. And that's just it. I was overweight, but I'm thinking no way possible. But they told me I was overweight. Not obese, but
they
overweight.
use that BMI standard. We don't fit we don't fit in the BMI standard. I've never have. I mean, that's what they use in the military to tell you,
Right.
you know, if you're 21% and all that. And basically, I never fit in that. I think that when you go to the doctor, you need to make sure. I tell them all the time, you know, because they always say, like, I just went the other day. I was, thank God, I'm still under 240. I was 239, but I tell them all the time, you know, we have a larger frame, so we can't fall under that. I forgot the 3 groups, but I think we're the Mongol part of the big group, and I think that's what it is. But hold on a second. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to TAN African American Network, where we have a local feel with a global reach. You're tuned in right now watching Out of Bounds with T-Rex and the Noops. So, hey, let's get back to it. But, you know, Jimmy came up with a good point. It's about eating also, you know, and it's I can tell you from a fact, not that I'm being bragatory, but I did a couple of bodybuilding shows. And I think the problem with most men, we've been programmed to eat everything on our plate. And so instead of getting a regular slice, we get one of those, maybe the smaller plate, so your portions are smaller. And you need to eat more often to lose weight. I mean, it's your metabolic rate will go up higher if you continue to fuel your body and you cut down on the bad things. We need to eat more like fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grain, brown rice, stuff of that nature. And unfortunately, we need to, if you're going to eat red meat, you got to eat a leaner cut. That's just the way it is. And I think some of that time in our community, we might not be able to afford that lean cut. So I always tell everybody, you know, back in the day when I was doing that as a part-time job, is to eat chicken breasts. They're not that expensive. After a couple of while, they get nasty, but that's what I got to say about it. But what do y'all think about exercise? What do y'all think? Do you need to exercise more often?
Oh man, I believe exercise is the key. You got to do some type of exercise. And I know I talk to Jimmy just about every other morning or so, and he's out walking. And I've got to incorporate that more in my daily walk in life myself, man, because exercise is the key. Exercise cuts down on a lot of things, man. Exercise helps lower your blood pressure, helps lower your cholesterol and so forth. And my issue with me, man, I have severely arthritic knees, and I'm not going to blame that on football or whatever, but you know, and maybe I need to look at taking gel shots or something, but and lose weight to get some of the weight off the joints of the body. So exercise is the key, man. It does wonders for the body. It adds life to you. Right now, I think the average lifespan for an average Black man is 72 years of age. And now I believe we all have an appointed time, and not to get in a religious aspect, but you got to help yourself to do whatever you can do to extend your life. You got to do the right thing. You know, we don't look at it when we're in our 20s, or no, I didn't. I did all kind of crazy stuff and still do it from time to time. But I am trying to get back into a more healthier realm of activities for myself as well. Right. I even bought a, whatever you call this watch, whatever you call
Fit
it.
watch.
Huh?
Well, yeah.
Fitbit.
One of the Fit watches tell you how many steps you had.
Yeah, Fitbit. Tell me how many steps I've got. I sleep with it to watch my sleep, how many hours I got and all of that, man. So a little bit more conscious. You know, when you know better, you do better. So that's my take.
That's true. That's true.
As Henry says, I walk about somewhere around 3 miles a day, 5 days a week, and Duck and myself play golf anywhere from 2 to 5 days a week. So exercise, as far as exercise, I'm not lacking exercise, but at the same time, your body can get used to doing something every day.
That is true.
And it needs to be shocked and to be able to do something different. So what happens when you're doing the same thing, like I walk pretty much the same trail, every day.
Mhm.
But that becomes, instead of that becoming exercise, that becomes a routine, and your body is not getting what it needs out of it, and you need to do something a little different to be able to shock the body.
That's true. Duck, you got anything on
Now, I was
that?
gonna say now, uh, I don't walk, I run. And it's a difference. I think walking's okay, but running for the
Mhm.
it makes you a whole lot better when they, just like anything else, those who play sports. If you have to do what you call go that extra mile, you keep going, you push yourself a little bit more. But when you feel that heart and that pain come into the heart to where you're gasping for air, like I was one day, I thought it was so much as just what's that when gas and some
Yeah.
kind of way of breathing. But I ended up drove myself to the doctor, emergency room at that. Drove myself to the emergency room, and I told the nurse then, the reception, I said, I think I'm having a heart attack. She said, can you just sit over in the chair? Because it was like 10, 15 people ahead of me. I said, ma'am, I'm having a heart attack. I don't want to die. She said, don't worry. We're not going to let you die in here since you done made it. So I'm thinking, okay, I ought to just fall out right now. But I didn't want to fall. I didn't want to fall because I'm up there thinking, I got scared because I'm thinking, I run every time, I exercise, I do some curls, but I don't put strenuous. And ever since then,
Yeah.
and who was that who said don't take no medication? Henry? No, that was Jimmy.
That was Jimmy.
When James said he didn't
He's
take
the one
no
blessed.
medication, I'm up here thinking, well, when you go get your physical, when you go get your regular routines, and the doctor take the blood pressure, and you don't have no high cholesterol, you don't have no high blood pressure, and those are what you call gifts. You've been doing something actually right, but it's also the hereditariness in the family history. So we need to know our history.
That is true. That is true
So,
too.
Doug, all you needed to do when you went to the hospital was to extract some gas, and you'd been all right.
No, that's what. No, I'm taking 5 pills now, and I still don't know the name of it.
Well,
Terry,
I think everybody hit it over the head.
Terry, I think at this point you need to say
ahead.
the comments of these young men are theirs and not the view of TAN TV. Okay.
I think they knew that already. Nobody be talking about farting and stuff, but it did. But y'all hit it on the head when y'all was talking about exercise. It says that you should do about 150 minutes a week of the anaerobic exercise, and that's like some form of weight training and all that. And aerobics you should do. Well, I'm sorry, the other way around. That's for aerobic exercise. Anaerobics you need to do about 75 minutes, and that's some type of weight training, or I ain't gonna say it because I don't do it. Them young people do that CrossFit. Like when y'all on the golf course, maybe y'all could, instead of keeping a correct score, like I know some of y'all don't keep the correct score. Duck, we won't go on that with you, but we maybe you should drop and make somebody do push-ups and sit-ups out there, every now and then if they don't make what their goal is. And that way we can stay healthy in that way. But I think that's what the National Board of Physical Education says, that's the amount of minutes that we need in both of those. But Duck, you hit it on the head when you said that we do the same things over and over, and our body gets used to it. And you have to break up that routine. So in Jimmy's case, he walks every day, and he probably got one bad knee. He bow-legged, so he only got one bad knee. So you probably need to jog a little bit and then walk a little bit. I'm not telling you what to do. You have to listen to your doctor. That's just to give it some kind of vigorous activity so that you can get your heart rate up, because that's what actually burns the calories and gets the fat off. And that if you are eating correct, which I mean, you guys are in Tennessee, man. That's got to be the hardest thing in the world to eat right, with all the kind of soul food places and the greens and everything back there that y'all be. I love too. Don't get me wrong. I say y'all. I don't get it, but like once a week here. But you can go anywhere to go out. Y'all still got, was it Po Folks or something like that? Y'all can go eat at in Nashville and Memphis. So it's amazing. It's really amazing. So before we go, we are 25 minutes into the show. You guys got anything you want to, talk about your personal idea on what you can do to get healthy so we can pass it on? Remember, we only got about 4 minutes left before we're done. I'm going to see if we can run over a little bit, but we'll find out right now. But go ahead. If you answer the questions. So take it. We got time. Take our time. So if we go over a little bit, that's great.
Well,
take your time and talk about it.
I just come off that journey when I did my fast. So the things that I concentrated on was eating better. And you said one of the things that I remember that I tried to do was to try to eat 5 to 6 times a day, because if I'm but smaller meals or just a snack. Yes. So by doing that, my body is not storing the fat and it starts to burn the fat. A lot of us don't understand that when you go without eating, your body starts storing the fat. That's a mechanism that's in your body. It goes into what some call as a starvation mode, and it starts storing that fat. And that stored fat is some of the worst fat that you can have in your body. Now, this is what I've learned. Whether it's true or not, someone who knows better may come in and tell me that everything I just said is incorrect. But that's what I.
No, you're right. It's just called a different word, but you're correct. You're 100% correct. It's called kinesis. When your body goes in kinesis, it's going to a fat burning mode. When you starve yourself, basically all you're doing is your body's not going to eat up the fat because it's supposed to save your fat. What it does is you have to put yourself in kinesis so that you'll burn fat. And you have to take in more protein so that the liquid protein that you take in, or the immediate protein, is not coming from your muscle. But I think that's it. But one thing nobody touched on, and before, Duck, you got anything? Or did you say something already? Or Henry? I don't want to get you up. Well, we got time. So don't worry about it. What do you think about sleep? We all need sleep. You need about 8 hours. I mean, I probably get enough sleep for all of us, but we need about 8 hours sleep. Do you think that it's important to get a good night rest for your health?
Absolutely, man. And it all derives from sleep, man. It really does. Right. There was a point in my life, man, I could only sleep 4 hours, no matter what I did. 4 hours, and then up doing whatever, So, and it took me a long time to get out of that cycle. And now I'm a solid 7-8 hours of rest. You feel better when you do that, and so forth. And we had talked about obesity and all of that and so forth. And now, if you're overweight, 9 times out of 10, sleep apnea affects your sleep. If your neck size is a certain size, that affects your sleep. And I think Reggie White was one of the young men that died of sleep apnea.
Yes, correct.
So, there's machines and stuff that people use now to help them with their sleep. And you follow the directions of that, you'll get a good quality sleep. So it starts with that. You got to do that, man. You got to get rest for your body, man.
Let me comment for Duck comment real quick, Henry. Duck and I would probably refute that notion that you get 7-8 hours of sleep, because we get texts from you in the morning between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know how you're texting us when you're asleep.
I go back to sleep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but my father used to tell me, one of the good old things he used to say is, nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream. A man who has to work for his living need to get up and go do his work. So I find out not necessarily do we need sleep, we need rest. Our body needs to rest. And rest can come in a quiet, peaceful way. So sometimes you need to adjust the thought patterns, and don't rush yourself, and just calm yourself. I love the people that does good meditation, some quiet meditation. Get up in the morning, be quiet, or go outside, just be quiet, watch nature. Probably while James is walking, he's probably enjoying himself, unless there's going to be some conversations going on that's going to carry him out of their peace. But a lot of times, just looking around in the surroundings that you're in, you find quietness. I'm looking at your background, Terry, and I tell you, that pool, the beautiful sunshine, the trees, the evergreen, that brings peace. So if you have peace of mind, you have tranquility. And with tranquility, you don't have stress. Stress kills. People don't know that.
Yeah.
Stress kills.
I think, well, first of all, the producer said that we should, after 50, we should get our colonoscopy done every 10 years. I think that's just because she's a woman. I don't like that colonoscopy stuff at all. Now they can send a stool sample in, and you do need a lot of rest. But you know what? When I was a young pup and he started doing these shows, you know, losing weight is not just eating, not just exercising. It's a four-legged thing. You got to get enough rest. You got to eat properly. You got to train properly, and you got to get enough, aerobic activity. So I put this out to all the women out there. If you want your man to live longer, give him some sex. Sex burns tons of calories all the time. Seriously. I mean, that's the best heart rate thing you can ever do. So, but the problem is, when we were young, we was getting a lot of sex. When we get older, we don't get none. So you have to, that's a good thing to do. I would say for anybody over 50, I'm not going to be greedy. I would say at least 3 to 4 times a week to get your, to keep your libido, which keeps the testosterone flowing in your body, which also helps you grow and stay stronger. But I think the women, as they get older, they still moving and doing their thing, and they got more things to do than really think about the important things. So ladies, if you love your man, you don't have to take my advice. And obviously, as Henry said earlier, this is not the Penny to Tan TV, the African American Network. This is just some research that I've done. And you can, everybody has access to the internet. You can Google it and you can find out that it's true. Sex does help lose weight. And with that, thanks for tuning in to Tan TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel of global reach. This is T-Rex Without a Bounds with the Noobs, and we're probably gonna go about another 10 minutes, then we'll be done. What do y'all think about that sex, man? I'm serious. I didn't just throw that out there. I did the research, and it's true. What do y'all think about it? I'm just talking about as an older guy, and I'm not trying to put we don't have to talk about our personal lives. We can just talk about our friends' lives. Do you think that sex is still very important for your health?
But not only for your health, but for when you said something a little while ago, for your ego. A man needs to keep his ego up too. So when a man is not able to perform, that starts messing with his mind, and it starts messing with his self-esteem, and it makes him feel less than a man. So the answer to your question is yes.
Yeah.
I don't think it can be said no better than what Brother Duke said, man. I agree with that. Like you said, it has all the, you take a boxer in the prime of his life. That's one thing that he has to refrain from. He wants to keep all of his energy and all of that tied up and so forth. But absolutely, man, that's a very part of your daily walk, man. That's something that has to be done. So for not only for him, but for her as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess, y'all didn't look at the Monique special and how she
I saw some of it.
Yeah, she talked about it, So sometimes the women get told some things that it's not true. Like the protein from the man, it's not good for them. but sometimes the protein is the best thing for them.
Right.
You know, the flavor is also good. So sometimes we don't talk about the types of sex, but we need to make sure that we're mobile. We're mobile. James, what's wrong? James, what's wrong with you? What is wrong?
I don't know. You start talking about flavor and all that stuff. I'm like, where's he going with this? What
Hey.
direction?
I'm just saying.
Hey, Duck, it was a guy that came to our church and he spoke. And after he spoke for about 10 minutes, he said, I won't be back no more. So, Duck.
Well, people don't. I mean, we all know it's true, and it's automatically proven. I'm sure the flavor is. Doug was talking about the type of sex, not the actual taste of sex. Help me here, Doug. Try to clear that up for you.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Some people call it more than one partner.
Yeah.
Having more than one partner, having two girls, if that's the case. But they keep me straight. I can't go nowhere. I can't do nothing. So, I have watchers over me, which is good for me.
I just tell them what the old folks said back in the day. If you take care of your man, somebody else don't need to. We're gonna leave it at that because we always had a show. Remember that one show we was talking about why men cheat? Obviously, because they ain't getting enough, and they want to be. I think men in the back of their minds, and I'm about to lie right now, but I just want to get that out right front. But I think, quit Jimmy. I think the more sex you have, the better your life is. Hey, how many men on this thing is 4 of us? If you have some great sex, can go out and go party later. I know. I'll tell you the truth. If I got some great sex, I'm going to sleep. And I'm probably going to sleep more than that good 8 hours. I'm probably going to get about a good 10 in there. So, ladies, I'm telling you, if you think we're here laughing and joking, trying to make it sound funny, if you want your man to be healthy, you got to give your man what he desires. And if he has a hefty appetite, then you better buckle up or do what Henry said, bring a friend. I'm just messing with you, but I had to put you on point. Well, dudes, that was great. Hey, why don't y'all give out Theta Beta a shout, tell them what y'all got going on down there in Clarksville, other than playing golf and letting Duck keep fake scores. So go ahead and tell us what y'all got going on in Theta Beta if anybody's listening from Theta Beta.
Well, I guess there's the main one thing that's coming up. The first weekend in March is a retreat.
In May.
May. In May is a retreat that we're doing where you'll get together and, of course, fraternize, get a chance to meet the younger brothers, show the brothers how to be a pole mark, how to effectively run each one of the offices that they've got, and just a mass fellowshipping. So, and that'll be a whole weekend thing. We'll end it with a church service on that Sunday. So that's the one thing that is coming up right now. We just inducted 10 young men into the bond. A couple of weeks ago. And so we're just trying to get those guys on point on what to do, how to do things next, man. That's one of the things we're doing.
Jimmy, you got anything to say other than anti-hazing?
No, yeah. We've got 2 hazers on here that wouldn't want to hear what I would have to say.
I'm glad I'm not one of them.
I'm glad I'm not one of them.
I'm glad
I'm not one of them.
And the audience could probably guess who the 2 are, but we'll leave that alone.
I think the 2 ones that spoke up are the ones.
Well, if you was in Tennessee, I'd give you a health reason.
What about you, Duck? Before we go, you got anything to say?
No, I think the brothers already know. Much love to each one, especially the ones here, the ones that I see the ones that I get in contact with. It's much love to them. Hope to see them sometime in 2023, whether it's going to be the retreat or homecoming, or just when we're in your town, look us up.
Yes,
That's
sir.
for sure. That's for sure.
Well, when you're in
All right,
our-
everybody. I just want to say, hey, man, it was a blessing. Thank you guys for coming. We'll talk a little bit after we go off the air. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with a global reach. Thanks for tuning in to Out of Bounds with myself, T-Rex, and my noobs. Go by Duck, Lionel, Jimmy. We ain't gonna call Jimmy's name on here because he was one of those bad boys back in the day. And the last but not least, the haze of all hazers, Big Bank. That's him. Back in the day, not right now. Back in the day. Back in the day.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I'm paper. I'm paper.
And with that being said, thank you, producer, for doing a great job today. And God bless everybody. And men, take your health seriously, even though we was joking, but take
Yes,
your health
sir.
seriously. And that's
Yes,
it.
sir.
Thank you.